Alright everyone, it finally happened. After years of Whoopi Goldberg dominating The View, shutting down opposing voices, brushing off guests like they were mere background noise, and treating the show like her personal empire, she's finally met her match. The unshakable, untouchable force of daytime TV just hit a roadblock. But the real question is, who or what finally pushed back hard enough to shake her throne? Stay tuned, because this shakeup is about to get interesting.
If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
This wasn't just a debate, it was a public reckoning. Karoline didn't just challenge Whoopi, she tore through her hypocrisy, dismantled her arguments, and left the entire panel in stunned silence. For the first time ever, The View was speechless. And now, the fallout is absolutely explosive. ABC executives are scrambling, desperate to contain the damage, while whispers of major firings are swirling behind the scenes. As for Whoopi, this might just be the moment that ends her career for good. So what exactly did Karoline say that left Whoopi humiliated on live TV? Trust me, you won't want to miss this. But first, if you love unfiltered takedowns and the kind of political showdowns that shake the industry, hit that like button and subscribe. Already subscribed? Perfect. Let's dive in.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
The chaos erupted when Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and the rest of The View took it upon themselves to school Karoline Leavitt on wokeness. And as expected, things spiraled fast. Whoopi, with her signature eye roll and condescending tone, made it clear she wasn't here for a debate. She was here to dictate. And then came Joy Behar, never one to hold back, seizing the moment to throw in one of her classic biting remarks.
Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
The most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world. You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and sex, and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
Oh, so now we're back to judging women based on their looks. The irony couldn't be more glaring. These are the same voices that preach empowerment and solidarity, until, of course, the woman in question holds conservative views. Then suddenly the rules change. The support turns to ridicule, the praise to mockery, and the so-called champions of women become the loudest critics.
Clarify, she's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Karoline's achievements are nothing short of remarkable, especially at such a young age. She's making waves, breaking barriers, and proving herself as a rising force. But when it comes to Whoopi, well, it's starting to feel like she's stuck in the past. Is this just a case of experience clashing with ambition, or is there a hint of jealousy creeping in?
Do you want to take this?
So you cannot be attractive and smart? I will try to give Joy the benefit, and well, thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing, because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark. Because Karoline Leavitt worked, I mean, she went to St. Anselm College, she worked for WMUR
Ran for Congress?
In New Hampshire. She ran for Congress at the age of 25, put out a very good campaign.
But here's where things get interesting. Karoline didn't hesitate, no second guessing, no wavering. She stood her ground, unshaken and unapologetic.
She lost by 8 or 9 points, but she still put on a good campaign. Then she was the press secretary for the Trump campaign, going on TV literally every day.
Well, heavily pregnant and a new mom.
Pregnant. Yeah, she's a new mother. And then she goes out yesterday and gives and this, again, this is speaking very objectively, because I've watched every press secretary since going back to Marlon Fitzwater. Yeah, I'm that old. And she went out there for her very first briefing at the age of 27 years old, the youngest press secretary ever, and did a terrific job.
Now, let's turn our attention to Whoopi Goldberg's take on the situation. Does she offer any groundbreaking insight? Not really, but in the spirit of fairness, let's hear her out.
That was so good. So good. In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against me.
Karoline didn't hold back. She fired back at Whoopi with a sharp retort. Whoopi, do you even hear yourself? You sit here preaching about women's empowerment, but the moment a conservative woman finds success, you reduce it to her looks. That's hypocrisy. Plain and simple. Boom. Silence. The audience, usually quick to react, was frozen. Even Joy Behar, known for cutting in at every opportunity, had nothing to say. But Karoline wasn't finished. Wokeness isn't about equality. It's a political weapon used to silence anyone who dares to think differently. And Whoopi, you prove that every single day on this show. Gasps rippled through the studio. The tension was thick, and the stunned reaction said it all. Social media exploded within seconds. Whoopi exposed and Karoline owns the View started trending nationwide, and ABC. They were in full-blown panic mode, because what happened next? Oh, it only made things worse.
While I vowed to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House.
Boom. She's got more.
I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office, or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices increased 65% in this country.
Bam!
ABC executives were in full-blown crisis mode. Reports started trickling out. Producers were livid with Whoopi, sponsors were getting uneasy, and even some of The View's most loyal fans were turning against her. Then, the real shocker hit. Whoopi Goldberg was suddenly absent from the next episode. ABC's official statement? Whoopi is taking time to reflect on recent discussions. Yeah, right. We all know what that's code for. The powerhouse of The View was now dangerously close to the chopping block. But the fallout didn't end there. At this point, the writing was on the wall. ABC was trapped in a brutal dilemma: clean house and finally introduce some balance, or double down and risk complete disaster. Let's be real. This show lives on controversy. But when the backlash starts outweighing the ratings, the game is over. And right now, ABC is skating on thin ice. Advertisers are pulling back. Credibility is in free fall, and viewers are tuning out. Is The View finally on its last legs? And could Karoline Leavitt have just delivered the final blow? Alright, now it's over to you. Was this one of the biggest takedowns in The View's history? Did Whoopi finally go too far? And most importantly, are we witnessing the end of an era? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and before you go, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the latest breaking updates and uncensored breakdowns.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wake up.
I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel.
Karoline,
thank you very much for your time.